What is going on YouTube? Yo soy Arms and I'm back with another YouTube video. Um okay. So I just haven't been active. I've been all over the place. I'm gonna keep it honest. I have literally been all over the place. I have not I haven't been me as of lately. I have not been thinking straight for the most part. I've been kind of just going through something. Something happened over Halloween weekend. I've never been through something like that. So I literally did not know what was going to happen, but luckily, after handling some things and, making some phone calls and stuff like that, slowly but surely things are starting to clear up. Again, I don't want to get into, too many, like too much. I don't want to get too specific onto what really happened over that weekend, but just know it's something like I've never been through before. I had mad anxiety. I was super sad that entire weekend and then literally this entire week. So again, I literally have not been me. I have not been gymming. I literally went to the gym yesterday. I pretty much skipped the gym the entire week again because yeah, I just haven't been me recently. So hopefully, I could slowly but surely get back on track. But on Halloween, my 5 accounts, right, my top step accounts I've been documenting. I took a payout, right? I took a payout of pretty much 5K. So that happened, right? I took that payout on Monday. I took that payout on Monday. Um, so my thing resets to zero and stuff like that. Again, pretty. I was waiting to get a 10K payout, but with what happened over the weekend, I pretty much, I was like, okay, I need this money as of right now. Um, you know, the 5K wouldn't hurt to have, right? So I pretty much withdrawed, took my payout of 5K. I was like, cool. The next day comes around, ended up, again, and I think that's what I'm gonna make this video about because obviously this is not just like a trauma dump video or whatever. This has to do with trading. And I was telling my buddy about this. I think this is the first time I've ever had, outside life factors impact the way I trade, right? Again, I just been telling you guys as of right now, like I haven't been me as of lately. Head has been all over the place, and I still decided to trade. And I know I shouldn't have traded, and that's what make that's what makes me feel even worse. That's what like ruins me inside, like Um, so after that payout, I still decided to trade, even though wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't clearly thinking straight. Um, Pretty much ended up blowing up all those 5 accounts. Um, well, I technically still do have them, but they're sitting at like a balance of like $100. I could trade. Like, I might as well just blow them. To be honest, I don't think I want to be trading one micro just to build it up slowly. Um, I think it would be a waste of time because one bad day, with one micro and you're on the wrong side, you pretty much lose a lot of your profits and stuff like that. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and blow those, and then just restart all over again. I did buy some Apex accounts. Um, I do have 3 Top Step evals ready to go. Um, so I think, yeah, yeah. Again, I'm gonna making this video about just outside factors and how they hurt your trading, right? Because a lot of you guys do know, right? It's you versus the charts. And what that really means is, you really have to hone in into, you versus the charts, right? So think about like every time you log in to your computer into whatever prop firm or your cash account, it's you versus the charts, right? It's going to be you versus the charts, and you basically zone out everything, right? It's you versus the charts. You're locked in with the charts, right? You're waiting for your edge, and then you execute when you think your edge has appeared, and then that's when right? And I always talk about in these YouTube videos, new opportunities, new blessings, new struggles, and this past week has been new struggles, definitely new struggles, but also new opportunities. Again, I've been trying to look into things like through the bright side. Um, and obviously I did pretty much blow my 5 accounts. Don't get me wrong, I took a 5K payout, but I could have held those 5 accounts and I could have just traded when I was feeling, a little bit like myself a little bit more. But um, and I'm beating myself over it. But again, I'm thinking on the bright side of things, right? So the way I'm thinking this as like obviously I'm stupid. I should have not traded, right? But I'm also saying like this is a new experience for me, right? I've never had outside factors, life factors outside of trading impact the way I trade. Not like this, right? Not like this. And it's crazy. Again, because I've never felt like this before. I've never had to deal with something like this before, and in my outside life, and the way it impacted my trading in terms of not being in the mental and like in the right headspace, really just showed up on how I traded, and then pretty much ended up kind of just blowing those accounts right over the span of I think the accounts, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday was pretty much the last, like that's pretty much when the accounts went to like $100. Um, so pretty much 3 days of just trading bad. Uh, and then yeah. Uh, again, I don't know. It's frustrating, right? It's frustrating because I know I shouldn't have traded. Um, Taking the 5K, that's fine. But after that, I should have just waited. Because now I have to start off at square one again, right? I have to start back up at square one, pass some evals, and then kind of build up the account again for a payout. And realistically, that's the name of the game, to be honest, right? I mean, this just goes to show that like I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Like I know how to trade, I know what I'm capable of, but in terms of actual experience, I'm not there yet because this is something I've never experienced before. Again, outside factors in your life impacting the way you trade. Again, I went through my journal, and I was like trying to find for because I literally journal everything. And I was trying to find something like, have I dealt with something like this before? I've never dealt with anything like this before. And I mean now I have though, right? I've never dealt with any of this. And I feel like it's important to go through something like this because eventually, realistically speaking, my goal long term would be, full time trading and, having this be my main source of income, maybe like YouTube eventually, hopefully, if I truly lock in. But the fact that, you know, if I want to be a full time trader and, this be my main source of income, I cannot let outside life factors impact the way I trade, right? So that's how I'm trying to see things right now. Like obviously I'm frustrated and stuff like that, I kind of have to start off at square one, but I feel like this is also like a learning experience that, I next time I have something really big going on outside of my life, I really need to lock in whether to decide, if it's okay for me to trade, right? Or if I do trade, I need to play a little bit more defensive and then not trade like some fucking madman. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. Again, I've never actually felt anything like this. It's crazy. It is crazy. But again, I'm thinking on the bright side of things. I'm happy that I took my 5K payout. It was a little bit more than 5K because I think the accounts were around like 2,500 or something like that. So it's just roughly a little bit more over than 5K. Um, Give me a sec. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I'm happy that I was able to go through it just because, again, long term speaking, I think this is good experience that everyone should get. Eventually. Obviously, when the experience does happen, it might hurt you. If you guys have not experienced, anything outside of your life, that's major impacting the way you trade. When you do come to experience that, I hope you guys remember this video and just like, oh yeah, like I remembered experience something like this. And, I honestly think it's just better to just step away and just trade whenever you think you're ready. Or if you do want to trade, literally just play defense, size down. Um, right? You don't want to let your outside factors blow, and show in your trading, right? It's bad. But again, I think it's something you do have to go through if you do want to make this, something long term. If you do want to make trading long term, I really do think it's important for you to really get your emotions locked down. Um, for stuff like this, because again, think about it. If you're wanting to trade full time, and your main source of income is trading, whether it's a cash account or whether you open up a Discord, people are buying your Discord for your trading, for your style of trading, and you're arguing with your wife or something, and you might get a divorce, and you let that, like, those emotions and stuff like that, show in your trading. It pretty much, it tanks it, right? It tanks it. So I think, again, this is all psychology wise, right? This is a new form of, like, this is a new stage of psychology that I have yet to unlock. And, currently going through this, I've unlocked it, and I'm like, damn, right? Now I'm just thinking, like, how much more is there that I have yet to experience in terms of psychology? You know what I'm saying? Again, it sucks. I kind of had to start off the square one, but the thing is, though, like, I know I can trade, I know I can lock in, I know I could do great things. But again, just hiccups on the road, sending us back a little bit. But I mean, it's just important to, remember, these experiences as you go on, right? Again, you kind of have to think about trading as a sport, right? And, like, in order for an athlete to get good at, whatever they do, they train hard, they're disciplined, they get their reps in, right? They get their reps in. Um, they go through plays, they practice, scenarios, at, like, game time speed. So when the game comes, when you're ready, right? You can kind of relate that into trading as well. Like, we're kind of basically athletes. We're getting our reps in, whether it would be, back testing or getting screen time, but also your reps is also, practicing good psychology, right? So I, like, this experience that I'm currently going through. I'm looking at it as, I'm getting my reps in, right? I'm getting to experience something that is going to, make me a lot more colder than I already am in trading, right? Like, I'm trying to become ruthless of trading. I want to become a person who just sits down here and just straight ice in his veins, like, cold, just me locked in with the charts, right? And yeah, I mean, again, looking on the bright side of things, um, I'm happy that I got to experience what I got to experience. Again, um, well, obviously it sucks, right? And then, my life is a little bit, like, set back a little. But I'm happy I got to experience this in terms of, trading, right? But again, it's a good thing. Everything's okay. Everything could have been a lot more worse. It's not the end of the world. Those 5 trading accounts, um, does not mean I'm gonna die, right? It's not the end of the world. Essentially just virtual money, right? It's just money being shown on a screen. But again, it's a little bit frustrating, but also, like, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm able to do. I know that I can do great things. I know that I could be patient. I could find great trades. I know I could go on a crazy win streak. Um, I know I could do it again. I know I could probably even make it longer, but it's just, stuff happens, right? Stuff happens. But again, I'm happy I got to experience all of this. For the next time if someone is going through something, if you're in my Discord and if you're going through something like life experience, and you kind of want my take on, how you should approach it, you go ahead and DM me and stuff like that as well. Um, Again, I'm just super glad I got to experience all of this, because again, new experiences really make a trader, right? This is me basically getting my reps in as an athlete, right? Going through things. And so hopefully next time something does happen in my outside factor life, I'm a little bit more mature on how to act when it comes to trading, right? Whether or not I'm in the right headspace to take a trade, or I should just wait, or I could just, play a little bit more defensive on how I'm trading and stuff like that, right? Um, yeah, I again, trading is all about maturing yourself as a trader, right? And you have to go through certain experiences to mature yourself as a trader. And I genuinely think I just went through one. So hopefully, long term speaking, I think this is a good thing. Because again, maturing. But short term, obviously, as of right now, I'm kind of just like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate my accounts are gone and stuff like that. But I know I'm able to bring it back up and stuff like that, right? Man, unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Yeah. So hopefully we're back this week. I am feeling a little bit better. Um, things are slowly starting to clear up again. When the accident happened over the holiday weekend, I mean over the Halloween weekend, I was kind of just like lost, right? I didn't know what was gonna happen, but stuff is slowly starting to clear up. Handled the things I had to handle. Um, so for the meantime, I guess we're a little bit good now. Um, and yeah, I just think it's important. I just think it's important to just handle the things outside life, um, and making sure you're okay, because essentially all of what trading really is just being in the mental mindset, being having a clear mind to come into the trading day, take a trade, and then hop off, right? If your mindset is not where you think it's supposed to be, just don't trade, right? And obviously, I pretty much ignored that. Um, yeah, I pretty much just threw that out of the window. So hopefully next time something like that comes around again, I can approach it a little bit more in a mature manner. And again, just try to think long term. Um, that's what I've just been trying to do. I'm just thinking long term. Everything right now, as everything's short term. Like right now, my life, obviously after the accident, after the trading, my trading accounts almost being gone. All that's pretty much short term. It does suck, but again, trying to look at long term, and long term is, I got to experience something I never got to experience. So hopefully next time something does happen, I'm able to, tackle it in a mature manner. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to make that video. Kind of just been AFK. And then yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it got me thinking, like full time. Either right now, people watching this video, you're most likely like trading prop firms and stuff like that, right? So that comes, and I mentioned this in other videos. Those There's stages. There's a certain psychology stage when you're in the eval stage, and when you have express accounts or XFAs, there's another certain stage of psychology, because at that point in time you're able to actually make some real money, right? So there's a stage of like greed, or trying to rush the process during the XFA stage to taste the payout, right? So again, there's stages. Now imagine the stage of going to be a full-time trader. Imagine the mental altitude of like, imagine how like focused you have to be in order for you to be a full-time trader. And I just kind of been thinking about that, and I wrote it in my journal, and it's just like, because that's your main source of income, right? Trading is your main source of income, and if you're paying your bills with trading, you really need to be honed into you and the charts, right? Like your mental has to be clear as day, because you can't be letting outside factors happening in your household, or whatever is happening, um impact the way you trade. Because if you trade bad, you're not paying the bills. You get what I'm saying? And that's a big deal, right? That is a huge deal, right? Obviously for prop firms, you basically just pay a certain amount, you get the account, ambassador account, pay activation fee, you get a payout, blah 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 blah, right? But imagine trading being your actual main source of income. That is another stage of psychology that I have yet to experience, that maybe you guys have yet to experience as well, right? And it's just crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And I think, again, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm glad I got to experience this stage of this stage of psychology, because I definitely wonder how many like more other stages of psychology there is, right? That I've yet to experience, that you guys have yet to experience, right? Because everything here in the charts is literally just screen time and just experience. Everything is literally experience. And until you get to experience a good chunk of it, there is going to be something that happens one day, and then, that might set you back a lot, because again, it's something you have yet to experience, and it's something new, and you've never handled it before, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I've kind of just been thinking about that, just like how mentally prepared your mind, and like how trained your mindset should be in order to be a full-time trader. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. I don't know. Again, yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy to think about. Um, and obviously, there's some things that you can do um ahead of time, before your time actually comes to be a full-time trader. To be there all in one. And a lot of that is like religion, believe in God and stuff like that. Me personally, I am Catholic. I do believe in God, do believe in Jesus. um so there's like certain things you can do, right? So you can be religious, you can meditate and stuff like that. But life happens. Life is hard. There is going to be some things that impact your trading. um and it's going to happen. It's going to happen to everyone, no matter how stone cold you are. It's going to happen, right? And yeah, if you think about it, the charts literally show your weaknesses. And I heard that once, and I was like, what does that even mean? The charts literally show your weaknesses. As you go over time, the longer and longer that you trade, you're slowly starting to realize what that really means. The charts show your weaknesses, and that's how you become a better trader, right? You let the chart show your weaknesses, you fix on working those weaknesses, right? And then after you kind of fix that weakness, the chart is going to show you another weakness. You fix that one, and then you fix the other one, and then you fix the other one, and you fix the other one, right? And it gets to a certain point where you kind of have less weaknesses, and you've got to experience a lot of things, to the point where you start to get a grasp of things. But again, experience happens. All the experiences are good experiences. You just have to think positively about them. Again, when the experience actually happens, you're just like bummed out. You're like sad or whatever. But longevity speaking, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And that's how I'm looking at things right now. Slowly but surely, things are starting to clear up. And yeah, so unfortunate, man, really unfortunate stuff. But again, we continue, we live on, we continue to fight, we continue to again, this entire YouTube is literally made off of the journey to trading, and this is just the harsh reality, right? One day you're gonna experience something in your outside life that's gonna impact the way you trade, and it happened to me. And I hope you guys know, when that time happens, when whatever happens to you, at that whatever time, you remember this video, and you reflect back, like, okay, I've heard something about this outside factors um hurting your or impacting your trading, right? So yeah, I hope you guys remember this video whenever that time comes, because I'm telling you, it does hurt. It's unfortunate, but it is bound to happen. You guys could definitely handle it a lot better than I did. But again, this is my first time experiencing this, and it just goes to show that, I'm not really, there's more room to mature as a trader, right? Yeah, I've been trading for like a year or so already, but again, there's just more room to mature, and I'm glad I got to experience this. Um, and yeah, so the next time something like this happens, I could definitely deal with it a lot better. Or if something like this were to happen to, a friend of mine or just a person in my Discord, feel free to always DM me. We can talk and stuff like that. Again, essentially it's you versus the charts, but realistically speaking, it's all of us versus the charts. And then yeah, right. So I think that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys. It's been a yap fest. It's been 25 minutes. Yeah. Again, hopefully you guys understood what I was trying to say. Not the craziest about, not the best about explaining things. And yeah, love you guys. I will see you guys on Monday. Hopefully we trade. We got some new accounts. We got 3 Top Step accounts, and we have 2 Apex accounts. So we're gonna be looking to, pass those. Really excited about this retracement going on here right now. Really, really like this. A lot of room to the upside. So really good stuff happening right now. Yeah, just unfortunate that I don't have Express accounts to hopefully capitalize on the push to all-time highs if we want to go higher, right? But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We're alive. Life continues on. Obviously we do have some bumps in the road, but I'm gonna beat myself up, but I'm not gonna beat myself up for an entire month straight, right? Right? Take some action, right? All right, man. I'll see you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.